All right, Mr. Seward here, and the goal of this video is to show you how to make the plaque for your sign so that you can put an emblem on them. You can make your plaque be a shape like this. This is a organic shape. You can make it be a geometric shape, whether it's an eight-sided figure or a six-sided or whatever you want to do. Doesn't matter to me. Uh, but I'll show you how to put a image onto this thing. So we've created, this is our sign plaque now. So we've created this in the first video. I'm going to show you how to put the little area down here onto this thing. So we're going to talk about this area here where the LED sits and how to do that. Okay. All right, so back to my little extruded sign plaque. I'll go back to home. Okay, now, in order to do this, I got to create a sketch. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch, and I'll put it right on this surface here. And I have found, we're just going to kind of eyeball a couple things here. So I'm going to draw a rectangle down here. There we go. And I'm going to actually do a couple dimensions on this. Now, I'm going to move this guy off to the side here. There we go. This is our LED. This is our base. And what I want you to remember is yesterday on our base, and yours may be different, but on the base that I created with you, this slot length was 2 inches. So I need to know that because here on this, well, I'll actually show you this. The distance from this little corner, from this corner right here to this guy over here, that has to be a quarter, or that has to be 2 inches, but minus a little bit. So I would make this distance from here to here 1.99, somewhere in that neighborhood. And that's just to make sure that we can fit this down into the base. So you want to make it 10 thousandths of an inch shorter than what the slot is that's in the base. All right, back to this. So I'm going to dimension this guy right here, and 1.990. Make sure I get that right. Good. And the other thing we want to know is the distance. Let's go back to our base here, from this top surface here down to this surface on the little LED holder that we put into the base yesterday. And that distance, if you remember, is 0.33 inches. Okay. So I'm going to go back to that. Here we go. I'm going to put a dimension on here of 0.330 inches. So that's my little boss, I guess is the best way to put it, or tab. That's a good word for it. Tab. It's a good word. I'm going to move this now. So I'm going to use the move tool, and I am going to select all of this good stuff. And then I'm going to click on the base point arrow here. And then I'm just going to put this in the middle of this rectangle that I just created. I'm going to move this until, and by the way, don't forget, you want to have this rectangle go over the edge of this thing for sure. I'm just going to kind of get it evenly on here, back and forth. I'm just looking at it. I'm uh, not thinking that I'm too worried about it. So I'm just going to put it on here. Oops, I got to click. There we go. And now I'll say done. Now I can finish this sketch, and I am going to do an extrude. Okay. It's going to flip and go in the opposite direction. The distance is going to be the same distance as the thickness of the plaque here. So that's a 120.125 inches. And I'm going to say, okay. And it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Well, we'll try it again. Extrude. Oh, maybe I know what happened. I think I hit cut accidentally instead of extrude. Yeah, there we go. I forgot. I had to have to here next to Boolean. I have to hit join rather than cut. So with any luck, it worked, and it did. So let's look at this from the front. Okay, so I'm not worried about this little hole here. That just kind of gives it some character, right? I guess. Now, the next thing I've got to do is in the middle of this, I want to put my LED. There's got to be a slot in this thing for the LED to fit. And the distance from the bottom to the top up here is going to be 0.33 inches. The distance from here to here, well, that's the width of our LED, or the diameter of our LED. And the diameter of the LED, if I were to look at it from the front here, the distance from this left-hand edge to the right-hand edge is 0.195. So we'll make it just a tad bigger than that, but not a lot. All right, back to my project. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to start by drawing a sketch. And I'll look at this from the home menu. Right? I'm going to click on that face so that my sketch goes right on this face. And I'm going to start with a line. I'm going to use the construction tool here. Now, the reason I'm using the construction tool is so that I can just kind of use it as a reference. And what I'm looking for here is, there it is, the little green dot that appears when you find the middle of a line. And I just drew that construction line straight up. Now I'm going to actually turn this off, and I can get my 2-point rectangle. I'm going to let me try this one. I'm going to try the 2-point center right here. Okay. All right. Well, oh, that's going to be nice, actually. So I'm going to make this width, the one that's lit right now, zero point 0.2, because I want this to be a little bit bigger width-wise than the 0.195 of the diameter of the LED. The other thing I want to know is the dimension from that bottom line there to here. And this is going to, oh, you know what? Uh, I'll just leave that right there right now. That's fine. The other thing I have to do is I'm going to do a circle tool, circle center point. I'll click that, and I'm going to do this circle here. This is the center of the LED, or the, like the dome of it. Okay, and dimension. Oh, actually, I don't need the dimension. I just need to trim. So I'm going to trim, and I'll get an error message in here. I know that. Oh, you stupid thing! It's going to make me do all of these. Okay, and I got to get rid of this line in here too. Oops. Yeah. Okay, so I have a dimension on there that I can't delete until I do this, until I delete that dimension. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that dimension in that it just wanted. So I'm going to go from this construction line, and I'm going to go to the center of this thing again. I'm going to click. Now, the height from here to the top of this should be 0.33. I've got to take that 0.33. Okay, so I'm going to put 0.33 in here. I'm going to put a minus sign in, and then I'm going to put in the radius of the dome on the LED, and that radius is zero point 0.2 divided in half, which is 0.1. Okay. Right, I got that in there. Got a couple little trouble showed up. I'm going to do a tangency between here and here and here and, oh gosh. Don't you just love it? The software sometimes wants to be a problem. Let's see if I can do it. I'll do this one to here. And you know what I got to do? I'm going to actually have to delete a dimension here before I can do this. I'm going to make sure I get this all situated up. Now I can put that dimension back on. It shouldn't be a problem. I shouldn't really need it, but I'll just put it on there for giggles. So it's 0.205. Okay, green check mark. All right, now almost the last thing here, I think, if I remember right. So now I am going to extrude that. It's going to go the opposite direction, and the output here is the Boolean output is going to be a cut. So if you don't have cut, set that up. Also press through all, and then I'm going to say OK. That is then going to give me the LED sign holder, or the that's going to give me the holder for the LED that's going into this thing. Now, something to do here is you have to save this. So I'm going to go File. I'm going to do Save or Save As, whichever one happens to work. I'll hit a Save As. So I'm going to go File, Save As. This is going to be my last name. So you'll put in your last name. All right. SCWERT. And then the material color that I'm going to want this to be. For instance, I want mine to be clear. I'll list off the materials and the colors that are available to you. I think there's red, yellow, I think there's green, clear. But anyways, let's say I want this to be clear. Okay. If you don't put a color into this thing, I won't be able to know. I won't know which color you want run on the laser. If you're not there, I'm going to just pick one. And that's just going to be what you have to go with. All right. Let's see, Seward clear. And I'll say save. Now, you're going to put this IPT file. All right. Excuse me. We have to make this a PDF. My apologies. So you'll do just like we did with the Monster Guy, where you put this onto a vector cutting sheet. It's only going to be a small thing. So just one part goes onto the vector cutting sheet, and you upload the vector cutting sheet to the Google Classroom. And you also need to load up the image that you're using. So in my case, I have to go to my folder. Let's see if I got it here. No, I don't. So I got to go to my folder and find that image, my Buffalo Bills helmet image. Where are you? Yeah, here it is. And I have to attach that to the Google Classroom. So you need for this to attach really 3 files. All of them have to have your name in them. The picture that I use, you have to put the plaque, okay, design on there that you want onto the item. And you also have to put the uh, LED base onto the Google Classroom. So 3 files are required, okay? The LED base, again, put your name, put the color that you want it to be. We're going to choose 3 colors. Black will be one. I don't know. Haven't figured that out yet. So that's the end of this video. Thank you.